जय श्री माता जी। ऑनलाइन उपस्थित विश्व के सभी साधकों का सुबह के ध्यान सत्र में हार्दिक स्वागत है। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी को वंदन करके हम सब ध्यान की स्थिति में बैठते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी आज का ध्यान सत्र शुरू करने की कृपया अनुमति प्रदान कीजिए। सामूहिक बंधन। अपना चित्त हृदय में लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे हृदय में विराजिए। श्री माता जी आपकी कृपा में हमारा हृदय निर्मल बनाइए, विशाल बनाइए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी आपकी कृपा में हम केवल शुद्ध आत्मा हैं। तीन महामंत्र तत्पश्चात श्री गणेश मंत्र।
साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
जय श्री माता जी। संतुलन करने हेतु अपना राइट हैंड पृथ्वी तत्व पर रखते हैं। चित्त ईड़ा नाड़ी पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के ईड़ा नाड़ी पर तमोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व भूमि तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा आकर सामूहिकता की ईड़ा नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। राइट हैंड गोद में, लेफ्ट हैंड आकाश की तरफ। चित्त पिंगला नाड़ी पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के पिंगला नाड़ी पर रजोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व, अतिरिक्त उष्णता, भविष्य के विचार, अहंकार, आकाश तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा आकर सामूहिकता की पिंगला नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। लेफ्ट हैंड गोद में, अपना चित्त मध्य नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा आकर हमें संतुलन दीजिए, हमें वर्तमान में रखिए। अपना चित्त मूलाधार चक्र पर लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के मूलाधार चक्र पर गणेश तत्व प्रस्थापित कीजिए। चित्त मूलाधार पर श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवै नमो नमः। अपना चित्त मध्य नाड़ी से सहस्रार पर लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे सहस्रार पर विराजिए। आपकी कृपा में हमें निर्विचारिता प्रदान कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें निर्विचार निर्विकल्प ध्यान में स्थित कीजिए। जय श्री माता जी। इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में अमृतवाणी आत्मसात करते हैं। श्री कृष्ण पूजा 1992 पार्ट 1।
Today we have decided to have the puja of Shri Krishna. We have many a times done this puja and have understood the essence of Shri Krishna's advent, which was 6,000 years back. And now, what his manifestation was, what he wanted to be accomplished has to be done in this Kali Yuga. As it is, this Kali Yuga is going into a new realm of Satyuga, but in between there is Kruta Yuga, where this Brahma Chaitanya, or we can say the all-pervading power of God's love, is going to act. At this time, what is going to happen with Shri Krishna's powers? This is what we have to see. Shri Krishna, as I told you, was the incarnation also of diplomacy. So he plays around quite a lot, and ultimately he brings forth the untruth and the falsehood. But in doing that, he judges. It's very important that Shri Krishna's powers of his diplomacy were to be manifesting at this time when it is the last judgment. So now, whatever we have done wrong before, whatever karmas which have been done in ignorance maybe, or maybe deliberately, all of them will be paid back. Those punyas which you have done in previous life, this life, will be also rewarded. This is all done through Sri Krishna's principles of collectivity, where he collectively sees the situation. For example, as I told you last time also, that Columbus luckily went to America. Luckily. So we were saved, otherwise we would not have been here. And then these Spanish people, bullfighters, they went and started fighting the poor, unarmed people who were just very simple owners of that land. But they went and occupied those lands and killed every one of them. So in America you can't find anyone, no doubt. But even in South America, you have to go to Colombia or to Bolivia, to great heights, to see some aboriginals there. Otherwise, most of them are finished. So now in Kruta Yuga, all these diseases have started cropping up. But the best part is the drug addiction. These drugs are made, for your information, in Bolivia and in Colombia. You drove them down there, so now you have the drugs, and very nicely you are very welcoming them. People went in Nicaragua to help them and brought back all these horrible drugs to Washington. And in every elite society, they are just discussing which is the best drug, where is the sale on, and where should they buy the drugs. So all of America is now worried how much drug they can import and kill themselves and destroy themselves. So this destruction has started from inside. Then in addition to that, when I went there first, I told them not to indulge into these Freudian practices, but keep to morality, otherwise you'll have problems. So they had first AIDS, secondly now Yuppies disease, and all kinds of secret diseases there. Among 10 people, there would be at least one person who is suffering from that. And among 20 people, there will be at least one person who must be suffering from schizophrenia. Because they made every person, every other country nervous. So now, they are getting schizophrenic. Like this we can see even in England. Now, in England, they came to India as traders, ordinary traders, and plundered us completely, no doubt, ruled us for 300 years. As I say, it's gracious hospitality they had. And then they left us in three pieces. And now in their own country they have problems, all kinds. First of all, nobody wants to call themselves as English. They all call themselves as Welsh or Scots or especially the Irish. And there is always a bomb scare in London. Every time, for our first program also, there was a bomb scare. So you can imagine these English who tried to divide us are automatically divided among them and now fighting each other. But there are other problems also, like AIDS and immoral life, everything like that. Same with the French. French tried to sell their wine all over and bring their horrible bathroom culture everywhere. Now they are suffering from it. For example, most of the time they are drunk and they have lost all moorings. I mean, they have no sense left in their heads. Like a housewife could be a prostitute, allowed by law. All such things are happening. Now they are paying. And the worst that they are paying, all these countries who think no end of themselves, are recession. This is also Shri Krishna's power because he is Cabella. He is the one who is the power of wealth. He gave lot of wealth to all these countries. And now they don't know what to do with themselves. We can see in these 50 years how many things have happened, but especially these 20 years have been really remarkable. All over the world you can find out there has been some sort of a complete change or an exposure. Even in Italy you see every day this Vatican is exposed, or some mafia connections are there, or this what you call people from the government are exposed. I am doing nothing, I am just sitting here. But it was working out that way. Since I have been here, I don't know how many people have gone to jail. God knows. I don't know, she's not brought my throat last days. I had a bath early in the morning, so a little bit. This is Shri Krishna is trying to fill me up. We Indians are also suffering because our past deeds, like we had a caste system. So now the caste system has become the greatest headache for us in India. That's the greatest cancer for us. Like that, everywhere, these 20 years or 21 years have been, I don't know, because morning, also reaction on me. So like that in every country, you'll see gradually, every country will have to face for what it has done. Also, Sri Krishna's own style was that he never believed in caste system. He himself was born in a caste which is what you call is a milkman's caste. And then he became a king, of course, but to begin with. And he lived like an ordinary person. He used to take the cows outside, look after them, and bring them home. Now, if you see his life, you'll find he is absolutely very human. The way he used to tease his mother, tease other ladies, all this is extremely human and childlike and extremely sweet. But behind that also there was a great significance. For example, Shri Radha, as you know, she was Mahalakshmi. And as Mahalakshmi, she used to put her feet, take bath in the river Yamuna. And the ladies would take water from the same river, carry on their head the pitchers. Now, Shri Krishna wanted to raise their kundalini. So he used to hit them from the back so that the water falls on their back and that vibrated water would raise their kundalini. This was his childish trick, but it had a meaning. Another one, when we see him in a ras, Ra means energy, Radha, Ra is energy, Dha means the one who sustains. So it is Radhaji who had the energy, Sa means with. So when they played Ras, was nothing but to play with the energy. And that's how he wanted to have a collective awakening of people, of Gop and Gopis, and he did it. But then he had to leave and fight this Kamsa. In his own lifetime, as a child or grown up, he punished all kinds of devils and women, devils who were like Putna and all. He did it. And in this Kali Yuga also he is active. You have seen how gradually he has finished so many false gurus, one by one. Somebody who called himself Shri Krishna, somebody called himself as God, something else. He finished them all, exposed them nicely. And now we have very few people in the arena left for us to fight. They themselves are trembling and they are quite frightened of us because we are standing on truth. So now when we have to think about Sri Krishna who is residing in our Vishuddhi Chakra. Many people have this problem of left Vishuddhi. That is because we are more sort of very social people. Now in the Western society, the social system is so rigid that anybody can collapse with that. Or used to be, now better because of the maybe the revolt, anti-culture. But otherwise, if you could put one spoon from here to there, then you are finished. If you start your food with, say, not with a fish knife, but with an ordinary knife, then you are finished, you are no good. And these French had made even much worse by using a big science out of alcohol. For this alcohol, this is the glass, for that alcohol, that is the glass and all. So the whole collective was made so rigid. It's much more rigid than in India. I used to think Indian collective is quite rigid because of certain conditionings we have. But after coming to the West, I was surprised that it is such a conditioning in the heads of the people that some of the conditionings you cannot remove. Say from Catholic Church you might say, or from wherever it is. But when it comes from somebody like Freud, who was absolutely a devil, they just give up all these conditionings and take to that. I cannot understand any country where there is Catholic Church so predominant, they are following Freud. So, this collective rigidity, which was then, because maybe Sri Rama was a very formal person, because of him maybe the collective rigidity might have been in India. But in the West it is all mental, it's absolutely mental. If you make this kind of hair, then you are all right. If you put oil, then you are absolutely lunatic. All kinds of funny ideas. were given and people started doing like this. If you don't put oil at all, you will become bald. If you become bald, then they will have a business of their wigs. So the whole thing was money oriented. And everything was made so fixed that you had to do it so that they could sell their things. England was, as you know, is tailcoat. You have to wear a tailcoat if you have to see the Queen. I don't know why you have to wear a tailcoat to see the Queen, but it's compulsory. And if you don't wear, then you are not allowed. So they have to borrow these tailcoats and all that from one shop, which can be tight, which can be loose, and everybody looks like Charlie Chaplin too. They can't walk straight. So, this kind of stupid rigidity that came into the West has really made them very nervous. People are so nervous here. If you tell some lady that I'm going to come and have food with you, she will collapse. God knows what she thinks. I mean, it is caring for the public opinion or her own conditioning. But in an Indian housewife, if you tell her you are going to come, she'll be the happiest person. She'll be very happy that you are coming to her house for dinner. But here, even if you say, I would like to come and see you in the evening, they'll say, all right, come in the pub. Because they're so nervous. They are not sure of themselves. And this has come, I think, perhaps from these norms that they have been created in the West. In India also we had lots of these ritualism that came up very serious. Like we had people, Chinese, who would pick up their hair with their hands. They are not supposed to use any knives or any scissors or any barbers. So they were supposed to pick up their hair on their own. So from their beard, from their this thing, they would pick up all the time. That went to such a horrible conditioning that they would say that even if you breathe, then you might consume some animals. So they would put some sort of a cloth before their mouth and all kinds of nonsense they did. At that time, Shri Krishna came. His own cousin was a Tirthankara. You will be surprised, Neminath. He became a Tirthankara. And that made Sri Krishna think about it. That this kind of stupid ritualism that we have, like in the morning, women will get up in their sleep, they will go put some water for Tulsi, do this thing, that thing, throw water here and there, and also untouchables and touchables, and you can't take water from this, you can't eat this, you can't move like that, all kinds of restrictions. Timing, everything. This time is not good, that time is not good, this you should not do, that you should not do. To such an extent that the whole movement of our country was around these rituals. I had nephews who used to come to Bombay for their work. Every time they went to Lucknow, they would come with shaven heads. I said, what's the matter? He said, there are many people in our family who are old, and when they die, we have to shave our heads. So every time they went and somebody died, so they came with shaven heads. Like that, such horrible rituals existed, and even now in the South India, a lot of rituals are there, terrible rituals. And they cannot get out of it, they are frightened. If they get out of it, then they might be sinners or they will go to hell. So the Indian conditioning was, as far as these rigidities were concerned, for religion. To be on the right side, to be on the in such a way that we should not be caught up without doing this. So early in the morning they'll get up and do the rituals just without even thinking about them, what they are doing. But in the West, the lifestyle is nothing but rigidity. The whole lifestyle is, there's no freedom anywhere. And all that then was revolted by these hippies and other people and all of them, and they fought it, and that thing went to another extreme. So from one extreme to another extreme. Now how Sri Krishna's advent changed it. When Sri Krishna came on this earth, he said, this is all a leela. It is just a play. Because you are involved into it, you cannot see the play. But if you ascend, if you are in the water, you are afraid of the water. But if you get into the boat, you can see the water. And if you know how to swim, you can even save the people who are in the water. So he says that if you develop a witness state, Sakshi Swarupata, if you develop that state, then you see the whole thing as a drama. Nothing affects you. Nothing matters. You don't worry about anything. You see the problem above. You are and you see the problem, and because you are out of it, you can solve the problem. This was his great advent, I would say, that has taught the first step towards the ascent is that you have to become a Sakshi. You have to become the witness. Now let's see in Sahajayoga. In Sahajayoga, there are different types of people come from different areas, from different cultures, because the door is open to everyone. Now, if an Indian comes in, he will be all the time watchful about others and will say that, Mother, this man is not doing this man is not doing that, he should have done foot soaking. He'll find faults with others all the time, saying that this man is not doing like this and you know. But in the West, they start finding faults with them. And I receive letters, 10 to 12 pages sometimes, confessing what wrong they have done. Who is interested to know what wrongs we have done? I mean, if a lotus is born, nobody wants to know how many filthy things are inside the pond. You are now a lotus. But it's so common that they think we must confess. We must tell Mother what wrong we have done. Every moment you are changing. So what is there to confess? And the life is so formal, as I told you, that people suffer from guilt for anything. Apart from the influence of this Catholic Church has conditioned you so much that even if you are not a Catholic, you are a Protestant, still you have guilt. And as a guilt, you develop this left Vishuddhi. So then, this left Vishuddhi is Vishnu Maya. Means what? Once you have this left Vishuddhi, you develop all the problems of the Vishnu Maya. And one of them is the heart. Because Vishnu Maya is an active thing. She is like electricity. And if you have Vishnu Maya problem, then you become lethargic. Oh, I am so guilty. You become depressed. That Vishnu Maya principle disappears from you. She is the one who is quick, fast, and she gives the light and announces to the whole world what Sri Krishna is. What happens with such people, Sahajogis who come in, who feel guilty? They say, Mother, you know, we thought that if we do this, then our ego will come up. If we do any work outside and work in some fields or in some villages, then our ego will come up. So we don't want to do it. This is absurd. It's like you give light to some light, and the light says that I don't want to give the light because maybe this light might develop an ego. It is absurd. But such absurd things Sahajogis tell me. For them, one has to understand to get out of this left Vishuddhi is to become absolutely dynamic in Sahajayoga. Go all out into Sahajayoga. Otherwise, they can't get rid of their left Vishuddhis. Left Vishuddhi is a thing that's a very depressive action on the whole being. And a person who has left Vishuddhi is always a very slow person to do anything for Sahajayoga. You have not been given light to hide it. Christ has said that you don't put light under the table. So you have been given light to work it out, to be dynamic, to think what to do, how to arrange, how to organize. But if you are guilty, then you will all the time say, oh, Mother, it's very difficult, this. Always you will find the other side of the whole joke. Just to avoid. Now for a Sahajayogi is to witness himself, first of all. That is the introspection. He should see for himself. Where was I and I have come here? Don't indulge too much in the past, but see the distance you have crossed in such a short time. Now you have come into the kingdom of God. You have all the powers. I don't tell lies. It's a fact. I'll give you an example. My full gang allows me to say that. Wolfgang was with me when we were traveling from Prague to Vienna. And the plane, you see, he told me that the plane is at 10:30, but it was at 9:30. It was a mistake. There can be mistake, of course. That also is Shri Krishna style. You can always do mistakes, doesn't matter. So we reached, why all these things happen? See, to create an event, a ghatana. So, he was very upset about it, that he told me a wrong time and I reached there about 15 minutes late. And there was a ground hostess, horrible. She started shouting at me, saying all kinds of, it's not fair, you don't know, this, that, and everything. I just didn't bother about it because I knew that it was out of mistake, we've done it. And they could have taken away their plane instead of shouting, but they kept the plane and she shouted at me. Because she wanted to shout, you see. Then the plane was filled in with people. And it would not leave. So I asked the engineers, they said it has been like this for the half an hour, we are trying to correct it. It's like this. So it's all right. He said that you'll have to wait till we put it right. But because she shouted at me, Wolfgang was full of tears. You see, just look at this German having so many tears in his eyes. Then Alga was telling him that it's all right, doesn't matter, it's not your mistake. He was feeling so sad that Mother has been insulted like this by this lady because of my mistake. His love. Now the power of his love was so great. At the same moment, there were so many, about 50 people, Sahajogis standing on the balcony watching us. We also felt and they also felt, but they felt a tremendous cool breeze like a big blow came to them and blew upon them vibrations. And they just got enamored. And suddenly when they opened their eyes, what they find, the whole sky was filled with clouds. There was not a single cloud in 1 second. In 1 second from where the clouds came, God knows. It was all completely filled with them. Then they asked us to get out because they could not do anything. So when we came back, it started raining. When we came in, he got after that lady, he said, now, whom are we to shout? We can't catch our planes now. And then they announced that all the flights are cancelled. So see the power of his love for his mother, that the whole sky couldn't bear it. You see, his eyes became the sky. And in a second they said, Mother, we have never seen such a miracle that there is not one single thing and the whole thing was filled with it. So you must know your powers. That is what is, first of all, witness yourself, is the introspection. See for yourself how many powers you have got. Now with your left Vishuddhi, You will always conclude, oh, how can I have any powers after all? I have done this, I have done that. Even if you give somebody 100 pounds and you tell him that now you go to the market, buy something. He say, oh, what's the use of these 100 pounds, this, that. Use it. As simple as that. But then Sahajayogi start saying that, no, 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 no. Mother says, but how can I have? How can I have these powers after all? It's not possible, I'm no good. Because that left Vishuddhi is all the time telling that you are good for nothing. It's like a leaking hole in your brain that takes away all the sense. And you accept it. So first thing is to introspect yourself and see for yourself how many powers you have got. Like in the beginning, no Sahajayogi would give realization in India. Nobody would even touch it. It so happened that my car failed and I was late 2 hours, luckily. And there was a big meeting and they didn't know what to do, so they started giving realization to people. And then they realized they can give realization. Otherwise they would not touch anyone. Now you know that, what you can do. You also know that whatever you say happens. Whatever you want, you can get it. Try, try, try. But if you don't do it, then you will be all the time half-baked. Take the experience of your powers. See how dynamic you are. Don't have formalities about it. Just use it fully and you will be amazed that you have so many powers. Somebody told me that, Mother, you have given a siddhi to widow. I have given siddhi to all of you. I never discriminate. But it's only he is very brave. He has used it left and right. He uses left and right. If you do not use your siddhis, what can I do? I have given you all the siddhis, no doubt about it. So try. Like in the beginning, Baba Mama told me that how can I write a poem? I feel like writing, but I am rather frightened because I could not even write an essay. I used to write essay for all my brothers, you see, when they were studying. Because I was very good at languages. But that's what he said, and now look at him. I told him, you go ahead and write, whatever you write. He said, I may write something wrong. It doesn't matter, write it. In the same way, somebody wants to paint something. One should not think how they will criticize or anything. Just paint. If you want to sing, just sing. If you want to do anything, any manifestation, just do it boldly. Go in a big way. You'll be amazed at yourself how you have achieved it and how you are doing it. It has worked with so many artists, you know that. That they told you about himself. And it's so many, they can tell you that this has happened to them. So now the first thing is to know that you have powers. Now believe in them. Have faith in yourself. If you have left Vishuddhi, this Vishnu Maya won't work out. But be like Vishnu Maya. Just give up this guilt. No, I am a Sahajayogi, I am not an ordinary person. People sometimes talk to me and I say, do you know what you are? What, Mother? You are a Sahajayogi. Oh, I forgot. Now go and do it. And another style of this left Vishuddhi is this, which one must understand, that it tries to give an explanation. As I told you many a time, you tell somebody that telephone to someone. First they will say, he may not be there, Mother. Baba, you telephone, first find out if he may be there or may not be there. But they would not. They would just avoid, and that is another thing. Vishnu Maya never avoids. You have seen that. Once she has to shine, she shines. Wherever she is, whatever she is. So in the same way, we have to be like that. We have to know that we are special people, we are chosen, we are angelic, and that we have entered into the kingdom of God, and it will all work out. Sahajayoga is not meant.
जय श्री माता जी। श्री आदि शक्ति मंत्र। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः। आरती की तैयारी करते हैं।
श्री करके साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिने मोक्ष शक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, आज का सामूहिक ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों पर समर्पित करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, कृपा कर हमारे विशुद्धि चक्र पर श्री राधा कृष्ण की शक्ति जागृत कीजिए, कार्यान्वित कीजिए। श्री माताजी, कृपा कर हमारे अंदर मंगलता, पवित्रता और नैतिकता प्रस्थापित कीजिए। श्री माताजी, कृपा कर हमारे सारे दोष, बाधा, कुसंस्कार नष्ट कीजिए, हमें सद्गुणी बनाइए। श्री माताजी, कृपा कर हमें परम चैतन्य से आशीर्वादित कीजिए। कृपा कर हमारे अंदर से दोष की भावना निकाल दीजिए। श्री माताजी, कृपा कर धार्मिक कट्टरता, अंधश्रद्धा से हमें अलिप्त रखिए, हमें साक्षी भाव दीजिए, हमें सामूहिकता में रखिए। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, आपके श्री राधा कृष्ण स्वरूप को हम हृदय से वंदन करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, आपके श्री चरणों पर हमारा कोटि कोटि नमन, कोटि कोटि नमन, अनंत कोटि नमन। जय श्री माताजी। सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं। जय श्री माताजी। आज के कार्यक्रम, आज शाम का ध्यान ठीक 7 बजे प्रतिष्ठान पुणे यूट्यूब चैनल पर लाइव प्रसारित होगा। आज का ध्यान सत्र यहीं पे संपन्न होता है। अब हम सहज संगीत का आनंद लेते हैं। आज का दिन सबके लिए आनंदमय, मंगलमय हो। जय श्री माताजी।
निर्मल माता जग की दाता, आदि शक्ति भाग्य विधाता। निर्मल माता जग की दाता, आदि शक्ति भाग्य विधाता। निर्मल माता सहज कमाने दीप जलाया, सहज कमाने दीप जलाया, सहज कमाने, सहज कमाने, सहज कमाने दीप जलाया, सहज कमाने दीप जलाया। पास बुला के पार लगाया, पास बुला के पार लगाया। के दाता आदि शक्ति भाग्य विधाता निर्मल माता। हर सहजी में प्यार जगा कर, हर सहजी में रिमा रिमा निर्मल माँ, रिमा निर्मल माँ। हर सहजी जगा कर, हर सहजी में प्यार जगा कर, खुद मुस्काए, खुद मुस्काए माँ धीरे धीरे, खुद मुस्काए माँ धीरे धीरे। निर्मल माता जग के दाता आदि शक्ति भाग्य विधाता निर्मल माता। सहजी एक तरफ देवता, हे माँ निर्मल माँ, हरि माँ रिमा निर्मल माँ, निर्मल एक तरफ देवता एक तरफ सहजी, एक तरफ देवता एक तरफ सहजी। माँ को रिझावे, माँ को रिझावे सब धीरे धीरे, माँ को रिझावे सब धीरे धीरे। निर्मल माता जग के दाता आदि शक्ति भाग्य विधाता निर्मल माता। हृदय में हमने माँ झूला सजाया, तो है झूलावे, तो है झूलावे, सब धीरे धीरे माँ को झूलावे, सब धीरे धीरे। निर्मल माता जग के दाता, आदि शक्ति भाग्य विधाता। निर्मल माता जग के दाता, आदि शक्ति भाग्य विधाता। निर्मल माता री निर्मल माता जग के दाता, आदि शक्ति भाग्य विधाता। निर्मल माता जग के दाता, आदि शक्ति भाग्य विधाता। निर्मल माता, निर्मल माता, निर्मल माता। तेरी महिमा जो भी गाता, तेरी महिमा जो भी गाता, सुख पाता दुख सारे भगाता, सुख पाता दुख सारे भगाता। शरण तेरी जो भी आता, शरण तेरी जो भी आता, तेरी महिमा जो भी गाता, तेरी महिमा जो भी गाता। इस जग को माँ गागा बताऊं, इस जग को माँ गागा बताऊं। निर्मल माता जग की दाता, निर्मल माता जग की दाता। निर्मल माता जग की दाता, निर्मल माता जग की दाता। बन के भवानी, बन के भवानी आई माता। तेरी महिमा जो भी गाता, तेरी महिमा जो भी गाता। निर्मल माता भाग्य विदाता, निर्मल माता भाग्य विदाता। जो भी तेरी शरण में आता, जो भी तेरी शरण में आता, जो भी तेरी शरण में आता, जो भी तेरी शरण में आता। मन वांछित फल, मन वांछित फल वो ही पाता। तेरी महिमा जो भी गाता, तेरी महिमा जो भी गाता। तुझको माजी गागारी जाऊं, तुझको माजी गागारी जाऊं। महिमा तेरी सबको सुनाऊं, महिमा तेरी सबको सुनाऊं। महिमा तेरी सबको सुनाऊं,